Hi everybody, we're back today, and we've got the newly crowned interim Bellator champion of the world, Raufeon Stots.
Yeah,
Man, first of all, just from us, I speak for Alex and I, we both want to say massive congratulations to you, man. The biggest win of your career thus far. You rose to the occasion and did so in emphatic fashion, man. I heard you post-fight say, I can't believe it, but I believe it at the same time because of the hard work. How gratifying was it for you to win the Bantamweight title and seeing the fruits of your labor pay off after all the hard work you've put in over the years?
man, it's like unexplainable. I don't feel like there's no words. It's just like it feels really, really good, satisfying. You know what I mean? And it's kind of surreal. Like you work so hard for something. It almost feels like unattainable at some points. But
Is there water in there?
hold on, let me do this, Clarence.
Is there water in here?
Yeah, my bad. I'm doing bath time.
Nah, you're right, man. You're good.
Yeah, so it's like something like that paying off. You know what I mean? It just feels like really good.
I saw on your Instagram the video of Sergio Pettis congratulating you post fight, and you could tell how happy and elated he was for you. The group at Roufus Sport are obviously a tight knit group, and that always show out for their own. Is having that support both in the gym and in your personal life, has that been an immense benefit and able to stay on track with your goals and your career?
Yeah, Roufus Sport is like you said, like so tight. It's not like a lot of us, I feel like we get like big gym accolades, but it's not very many of us. You know what I mean? So like literally it's me and Serge in there, or me and Serge and like three others, you know what I mean? Emmanuel Sanchez, Christian Rodriguez in there every day. So and that's the other reason why it's like we're like really close. It's not like we're just teammates. We're like main training partners, like all of us. So and we all need each other. So it's like cool because like we all are driven, and we all push each other in that respect, because we see kind of every single thing and how everyone approaches every single thing, even the little things. We see that, very closely. So we're able to push out each other in that respect. We're able to obviously push each other when we're training. So when one of us like wins, we all see exactly what, the other people have put into it. So, you know what I mean? Like when he wins, I know, like, man, I know how hard he worked for that. I know exactly how hard he worked for that. So like, I'm happy for him, and it's the same going the other way.
For sure. So leading into our next question and maybe going on a bit of a sidetrack, you have a very accredited NCAA wrestling background. And something I wanted to ask you is, what do you find are some advantages of collegiate or folk style wrestling over, say, a typical Greco-Roman wrestler, or maybe some of the wrestling styles that we're seeing coming out of Russia and places like that?
Well, for me, the top control that you have to have in folk style wrestling is a lot different than freestyle and Greco. Whereas like in folk style wrestling, like you have to control somebody from getting up, and you got to be able to like manipulate them and like control them in positions. You know what I mean? Whereas like in freestyle Greco, you just got to expose them to positions. So you gotta like expose their back. So you'll roll them through some things, you know what I mean, and get points for that. You're rewarded points. In Folkstyle Greco, you're rewarded points for controlling them like in the exposed back position for like tilts and stuff like that. So I just feel like that's a benefit for when we decide to go over to MMA, because a lot of that control to like set up submissions and keep somebody down is valuable.
For sure. So you're as someone with an accredited wrestling background, though, do you feel that wrestling could ever reach the heights of popularity that we're seeing in modern MMA? And what do you think has stopped wrestling from already reaching those heights internationally, given it is a sport with such a prestigious and storied history?
Yeah. Man, I don't know, certain people are kind of drawn to the wrestling, and I don't know what it about that, people aren't like drawn. Some people aren't drawn to.
Mm.
You know, like there's like granted, okay, there's matches where I guess grappling is and it's hard. Like I feel like you have to like kind of know what's going on to appreciate what's going on, and that's probably the main thing. People have to educate themselves on the rules. They got to educate themselves on the strategies and things like that. And if it's something you're not privy to at a young age or privy to in your life, it's harder for you to watch and be excited about it because you don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? So whereas like MMA or boxing, if somebody's getting hit, like it's pretty easy to tell like who's winning or tell like what's going on, or you know what I mean? So yeah, so even like my wife, when she first started watching wrestling, she would like watch and not know kind of what's going on, you know what I mean?
Not know whether to cheer or be concerned, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Some matches she was just like, well, I just seen him raise your hand, and I figured, you won. So I think that's the main part. Is that it's kind of a intricate and kind of you got to like know the rule set, and you kind of got to either do it or study up on it to like know or somebody got to tell you or inform you on the rule set, and what counts as two, what's one, like how they scoring. So I think that's probably part of it. Also too, like for grappling gets kind of more, and that's probably it, because grappling is hard for people to realize what's like going on. I feel like grappling over kickboxing, people would much rather see some people stand and bang than like scramble crazy on the ground, when I say people, I say like the general public.
Yeah, the casuals.
Like the casual, exactly. The casuals are like that. I mean, that's I probably just because it's easier to digest, easier to figure out what's going on.
For sure. So your wrestling career, it had some ups and downs. And do you think facing those hardships in one of the most difficult and physically grueling sports in the world gave you the mental resilience and self-confidence that would set you up for success in MMA to become a champion?
Yeah, I definitely think I credit a lot of my success in MMA to the values and the training habits that I learned while I was wrestling. Yeah, because before wrestling, I don't feel like I had like the work ethic that it takes to be very good at wrestling, or the the mental fortitude to know like, okay, I'm not good at this thing now, but if I do 1,000,000 reps of this thing, I'm gonna get good at it, and that's the way I can will myself into doing stuff. Just do it do it way more time than the other people. And also, I started wrestling like super late for like a wrestler. I started my junior year in high school, so I was like behind the curve on everybody. So I knew I had to do what they were doing and then also do extra because I was trying to play catch up. And that carried over to my work ethic in MMA, because I'm like, I want to be the best, so I'm gonna do what everybody's doing, then I'm gonna do my extra, So yeah.
For sure. And then that work ethic is very evident because you have a variety of finishes across your career, showing that not only can you wrestle, but you can do jiu-jitsu as well. And of course, as we saw recently, you got some hands and you got some striking. So how early on in your MMA journey did you realize the importance of being able to mix it up and truly be a well-rounded mixed martial artist?
It was around the time I feel like I went to Roufus Sport. Like when I first got to Roufus Sport, just because so when I went there for the kickboxing, because I was like, with my wrestling, I would like get away with a lot of things grappling because of my wrestling background, and so I went to Roufus Sport, and then I actually did a grappling class with the professor. It was Daniel Wanderlei at the time, and he had I thought I would come for a striking class, but I ended up coming for like an amateur grappling class. And so then so I did the class or whatever, but it was like an amateur class, and I was kind of getting away with stuff, like usual or whatever. And then the professor was like, "Hey, let me. You want to go with me a couple rounds or whatever, or go for me a round? I think it was like a round, like 3 minutes or something." And he tapped me like 8 times or something crazy, like within that 8 rounds. And I ain't never been, like treated like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, I need to come back here at the very least. I got to get this freaking this Brazilian black dude, man. But it also taught me like man, there's things in this game and deficiencies in this game that I had no clue about. I came here for striking, but my grappling ain't what I thought it was. You know what I mean? So. And for me, it's like, man, I need to be as hard to kill as I can be. So everything that I can learn or every technique that I can, pick up and grow in, I need to be doing.
Yeah. So,
100%. Raufeon, over the last few weeks, we've had the pleasure of having guys like ONE FC featherweight champion Tan Lee and guys like John Wayne Parr and Mads Burnell on the show who've we've asked them and all expressed their support and shown their support behind cross-promotional championship fights. Now that you've won gold in Bellator, I thought it'd only be fitting to ask you, you're still 33, you're still young enough, is that something that would ever interest you one day, whether it be in the UFC, ONE Championship, any of these organizations?
Yeah, any of those fights I would love any of those fights, cross-promotion fights. I thought when I seen Bellator doing that was like another reason I signed with Bellator, because that like seemed pretty cool to like fight people in Japan or fight, people at different organizations, Yeah, I feel like that's the true, spirit of martial arts, like to see, who's like truly the best and across the board, So that's definitely something that'll interest me. If given opportunity, I'd jump on that.
So I'll say this: you versus Aljamain Sterling would be a fight.
Yeah,
I would love that fight.
I think so too, man. I think that'd be a good fight, man. I think we match up pretty good, I like the dude. I don't know him personally, but like a lot of people that I train with kind of train with him, and I think that'd be a good fight.
Raufeon, obviously we know you had the great Eric Nicksick and Scott Cushman in your corner for your last fight against One Archuleta. This one being the first with Eric in your corner. We've had the pleasure of chatting, with Eric in the past, and a lot of guys at Extreme Couture are nothing but wonderful to us. What did you feel having Eric in your corner for this fight brought to your game, and that maybe you didn't have in the past, whether it be from a game plan perspective or maybe even just a mental approach?
What's the name? Eric. I like Eric a lot. Just his his approach to the game and his openness. You know what I mean? Of mixed martial arts. You know what I mean? So I was thankful for like kind of how he gave me kind of freedom to because he knew like my striking is a little different than his. He was like adding little pieces. He knew he wasn't gonna like change my game. He was just gonna add little pieces that he felt were appropriate. And they work really good. They work really good with or at least adding them to the things I do. So that was one thing I like. That was really refreshing. Really cool to see. That it was like he was like kind of like an open book. Like I would like throw techniques or ideas at him, and he was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, or like, yeah, or I like it, but let's do something like that. But that was something that I was like, because I feel like for me, like I love to kind of part of the mixed martial arts is like creating, styles that are fit for me and techniques that are fit for me. And he was really open to that, so that was cool.
Yeah. Raufeon, looking at the resurgence of appreciation and respect to the bantamweight divisions across all of MMA, has it given you a renewed fire to better yourself when you can now see a true murderer's row of top-tier martial artists, both to test yourself against and that the fans are absolutely excited to see?
Yeah, it's definitely cool to see, even like, I'm not like, I don't necessarily like I don't want to say I don't care, but like the public opinion doesn't like drive me or hinder, you know what I mean? It doesn't stop me from doing what I'm doing, or like, oh, because everybody thinks I'm this great, you know, now I'm gonna, you know, pick up. So it doesn't like doesn't deter my trajectory or where I want to go. But it's like cool to watch, you know, or cool to kind of see the appreciation and you know, even like the talks to like, oh man, what if he fought him? Like what if I fought Aljamain? You know, that's just, it's like cool. It's cool to see, you know, people get excited kind of about bantamweight, excited about me, you know what I mean? Excited about mixed martial arts in the bantamweight division. But yeah, it's really cool.
For sure. Well, Champ, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it, especially as we know that you're on bath time duty tonight. So we appreciate you taking the time, and we'll let you get back to it. But all the best of luck for your next fight, and we know that we're excited to see what you can do in there.
Appreciate it, man. I'm excited too. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.